I'd just like to give you some information about a session file in Pro Tools' file management. So in order to do that, I'm going to create a new session and just show you how it operates and how it stores these things. So I'm going to go for create, and the name, I'm just going to call it Ian's Startup. Oops, yes. Session, like that. Okay. It's important that I select local storage here. That means it's going to store on the internal hard drive and not anywhere else, or be a cloud collaboration that might cause some difficulty. Down here, bit depth, I'll keep it 16-bit and 44.1 kilohertz. That's as good as CD quality, so that's absolutely fine. And you'll notice on the location here, I've put it on the desktop. We'll just double click on location, it lets you put that wherever you want to. By default, Pro Tools these days puts things in the documents folder. You see there's automatically a little folder in there called Pro Tools. But I'm going to save this on the desktop so we can easily access it. So click on open, like that. So you see location, users, sound console, desktop, good stuff. Click on create, and you see the file automatically appeared on the desktop. Now I want to open this up and show you what's in it, because I just created a session, and the session is just this bit here. It's the session file there. Now session files aren't big because they only hold information about the session, not the audio information. The audio information is held in here, the audio files folder, and if we create bounces or mixes, then they're going to be in the bounce files folder. We also get a thing called the clip groups folder, which we might look at later on. But this one here is an absolute lifesaver, because when things crash, Pro Tools will have automatically saved a backup for you in this folder here. So if you go to the most recent of the files that's in the session file backups, then that's probably going to save your life, and you'll only have lost 10-15 minutes worth of work rather than a whole day's worth of work, which can happen sometimes. Then we have video files, if there's going to be videos where you're doing a Foley project or something like that in there. And this final one called the wave cache, which is just a kind of, it's information about the drawing of the waves that Pro Tools has. So at the moment, I open the audio files folder. You see there's nothing there. There's nothing in the bounced files folder. There's nothing in the session file backups. None of that stuff, okay? It's all empty. So let's try and put something in it. So what I'll do is I'll record some audio. Just create a new audio track here. And we'll just call it Ian's Voice. Like that. Oops, spell it correctly. It's always a good idea. Click on OK. And I'll hit record, and then you can actually hear the sound of my voice, and you can see it being recorded. A little bit of phasing there because I'm listening to what's being recorded at the same time as it being recorded, if you see what I mean. So a double image of the same song. So if I bring up a transport like this, and then hit record and play. La la la, Ian's Voice. So you see the sound of my voice is now generating a waveform. We can increase the size of that waveform if you like, utilizing these zoom functions up here. So there's the sound of my voice being recorded, and that's being recorded as what we call raw audio directly onto the hard drive. So I press stop now, and we can see that's no longer pink. But if I open up the folder here again, I'll just record disable that. Actually, it's slightly annoying. There we go. Open up this, open up audio files. Ta-da! There we go. So it's automatically put the audio file for this session in the correct folder. Now, this is important because that means that if I need to find any of the audio for this session, I know exactly where it is. It's in the session folder, in the folder called audio files. It couldn't be simpler. I did name it before I recorded, and that is very important. Now here's the thing. If I now want to add something to this, I'll use from this mix routing session here, I'll grab an audio file, which is a guitar file. Now if I just drag and drop that onto the page like that, then lo and behold, it is in the folder. Okay, so it's not in the folder, it's in the session. So now being in the session, that means if I hit play, la la la, Ian's Voice. So you see the sound. The guitar starts playing on top of my voice recording. Okay, now here's the thing. If I go back to my Ian Startup session audio files, you'll notice the guitar is not in there. Now this can create problems, especially when people are dragging and dropping to do Foley projects or audio projects like this, because we're not gathering the audio files. So I then take this and I copy it onto a pen drive and send it to somebody, and they say, well, it's trying to auto-link a load of audio files that don't exist. Where are they? And truth is, they're scattered all over your hard drive. So two ways around this, and let's just do this because it's really important for creating backups as well. Okay, first thing is we'll get rid of that guitar track, and what we'll do is properly import it. So go to the file menu and select import audio like this, and we get this big dialog page. So I've already experimented with this, so I'm just going to go to the that's the mix routing folder, this one here on the desktop, then the audio files, and then the acoustic guitar. Now what I want to do is not add or add all, but it's copy. When I copy that there like that and then click on done, that copies that into my audio files folder. It asks me, it says Ian Startup Session audio files. All I do is click on open, and wallop, we have a copy of that guitar part now in my audio files folder. So now when I play it, exactly the same effect as before. Okay, there's the guitar coming in. But if I go to Ian Startup Session, then that audio file is in there. Okay. Now there's another way around this, and it's a function called save a copy in. Now I'm gonna get rid of that. Move to trash. I'm gonna show you this. If I close this session like that. Even if I save it, right, I'm going to open it up again like this, and this is what people get. They go, missing files, it's not there, I can't find it. And that's because I actually removed it from that folder to prove this to be the case. And you get this, and it does this for hours, and you get the spinning wheel, and it's trying to load up. Okay, it's just because it doesn't know where the file is, and it's going to go and try and look for it. You can tell it where it is, and I'll show you that later on, but what I'm going to do is just get rid of this, delete that track, like that, and I'll delete that one as well. And we'll go through that process of copying it in again and then saving, but this time I'm going to do a different process because I'm actually going to use the drag and drop process that I told you not to do a minute ago. So bring up the audio files and drag and drop that guitar into there. So like adding effects in a Foley project, you'll hear that it's still there. La la la. Guitar plays now. So you see the sound. Lovely. But remember, it's not in my audio files folder. It's not in here. The guitar is not there. It's just back to being Ian's voice again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this function here called save a copy in. And when it says items to copy, I'm going to select audio files. And what this will do is it will go and gather all the audio files. It goes and says, oh, that one's come from that folder, that one's come from there, that one's come from there. And it puts them all into one single audio files folder. That's all I need to do. Save copy in and click on audio files. Then when I click on OK, it'll ask me where I want to call it. I will put it on the desktop again, like that. And see, it's called Copy of Ian Startup Session. Click on Save, like that. And you see it appearing just underneath that. Open that up. Open the audio files, and lo and behold, the acoustic guitar's in there. So it's gone and found that file and made a copy of it into that folder. So that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to know and understand, the save a copy in function. Okay, so that's a little bit about Pro Tools file management, which is quite sophisticated and very, very useful. We just have to understand how it works.